Side to side, and a rhythmic break.
Dead or School is a side-scroller action game that is created by the 123 team of Studio Nanofuchi. This game tells the story of Hisako, a young girl determined to take back the surface of Tokyo from the mutants, which is the undead, who take over the humanity lost war within 78 years ago. I was lucky to find out about this game. It was a time when I was at work and I was on my phone having some downtime, and I was just looking up some indie reviews, and I looked at a review of this game, and the reviewer that talked about this game kind of drove me into the liking of being curious about this game. Now, hopefully, when you watch this review, you can get pulled in as well because this game is great. This game is fantastic, and I'm just gonna say it like this: for those who like side scrollers, who likes action games, because I'm very picky with side scroller games, I easily get bored. I don't really feel the thrill to it, so I'm very, very picky when it comes to choosing a side scroller game that kind of fits my interest. So I'm gonna say it like this: if you like games like Mega Man, Strider, with a little bit of a context to it, and what I mean is exposure, because they do have some brief nudity in the game with a little bit of a Senran and Kagura feel to it. Oh, fucking love this game, I guarantee you. The story doesn't drag at all. The story focuses on the main protagonist, which is Sasako, who has been inside the bunker underground ever since the war happened 78 years ago. Now, she's not 78 years old, but she was born recently. And within, she doesn't even know how the real surface is. But she's been studying some maneuvers through combat and from self-defense, because whenever things happen or when people will sneak out of the bunker, because the bunker is huge. The bunker is enormous. So there are times when little kids or people who wants to try to see how the surface is, they get in contact with these undead. I don't know why they say undead. Why they just can't just say zombies? I don't get it. Maybe it's a copyright issue, but I know a lot of movies, games, shows, or just advertisements doesn't say zombies like that. Only time they say zombies is when a Capcom game appears, like Resident Evil or Dead Rising. But I don't know. But anyway, when these kids get in contact with these zombies, here comes Hisako. Hisako is like the person who likes to rescue these people. Now, when this happens, she gets intertwined with the surface, and she gets curious of how everything is when it comes to her not just trying to find survivors, but just what else is out there. And we get curious as well as we progress through the game. Now, I like Hisako's character. She is kind-hearted, she is full of energy, and at the same time, she's a badass if you level her up correctly. Because there are times where I play this game, and they give me so many weapons, so many to choose from. You have a close weapon that can be a stick, through a katana, through a badass sword, and each of these weapons takes stamina if you don't level it up properly. So you have to make sure you get the right weapon so you can defeat certain enemies, but that's for close range. Then you have a gun that is far range, and then you have a heavy weapon, which can be a grenade launcher or an RPG. So depending on how you feel when it comes through the progression of you killing enemies, is how you're going to be able to walk through it. With me personally, I was just trying to figure out how to level up my character the right way, which is a very great animation. Because when you go through the animation screen of how to level your character up, it shows you certain move sets that you can level up just by circling it on a chalkboard. Because she has like a blueprint of her skill set that you can unlock by in-game progression. Like she's in school. Terminology that are school. I thought that was pretty unique and pretty well animated. And that was not just it. There were times where I would get involved in a cutscene. And sometimes with games like this, they would show you dialogues of standstill pictures, and you have to just press a certain button for you to get to the next scene as you get done reading. But with Dead or School, they show both. They show animations and they show you like standstill scenes, and sometimes they involve both of them at the same time. And I thought that was pretty good. It was sounds I thought I was watching an anime, and I'll put my controller down and I'll just enjoy the ride as they show more context of the story. That was a pretty good maneuver and a pretty good feature, and I think more games should do this, as well as the Senran Kagura series. I talked very little about the leveling up feature. You need to level up on this game because the enemies do not pussyfoot around. Even the enemies have an animation scene when they jump through the sides of the screen and try to attack Hisako as you progressing through the game. Sometimes it would scare me. Sometimes I would just mind my own business and they would just pop out without warning. They would just come through the screen and scare you, and then at the same time they will attack Hisako. So I get scared pretty easily. So it was a pretty good feature, but at the same time, you need to make sure you level up your character and make sure you do some backtracking. And that's a good thing about this game, is that when you go through a save point or a checkpoint, the enemies reset. So if you find a good spot for you to just farm and just hack and slash enemies so you can progress more, and at the same time, you actually unlock these perks to not only unlock great variety of features of weapons, like unlock drones so it can help you kill the enemies quicker or get quick XP, but at the same time it would make your progression through the game more easier. So you need to backtrack so you can make sure that your character is well optimized and well equipped so you can be able to defeat these enemies easily, because I guarantee you, you're gonna regret it if you are underleveled when you jump into a pit or jump into a certain circle where they just have enemies trying to gang rape you nonstop. And that happened to me tremendously, so many times. Now that's just the enemies. I didn't even tell you about the boss fights. The boss fights is so freaking tough, so tough, but at the same time it's enjoyable. Like there are boss fights that, like, because you fight enemies, you fight monsters, and these monsters, these zombies, or I guess I'll just say undead, these undead, they have a variety of switching up their tactics. Some zombies like to jump on you. Some zombies like to shoot weapons at you. Some zombies like to come from behind and have like little peasants, and Jesus Christ, they actually got dogs on here too. They got dogs and they got birds. So those are just regular enemies. The bosses, they are huge, they are humongous, and they can probably kill you with one good hit combo. So again, it's pretty obliterating at times, but at the same time it's fun. I kind of wish this game was 2 players. I can imagine me and my best friend William playing this game together and just shooting the fuck out of zombies. But this is a 1-player game, and I can also tell that this was trying to be pushed to a 2-player game, but I don't know if they thought that the budget wouldn't be good. But if they make another one, that would be a good feature for them to have, honestly. Now, there's one thing about the game that I didn't mention. That was the side missions. Now, you have main missions for you to progress through the story, but you also have side missions on your way through progressing through the game. Now, the side missions, I mean, some of them are like necessary. You have to find survivors in order for these side missions to unlock so you can level up. But some of the side missions are kind of unnecessary. Like, there are times I have to find clothes so somebody can wear them in a good occasion. This is a zombie apocalypse. I don't know why. There are times where I have to find like Sundays and stuff like that. I mean, if it helps me progress through the game, why not? But I felt like that kind of just drew away from the criminology of the game itself. It's not an issue with the game. It's not like, it didn't take me away from me enjoying the game. I enjoyed it still. But I was like, if you're gonna have side missions, why not have the side missions be more engaging? Why not have the side missions be to the point where I'm more compelled with the characters? Because let's be fair here, I don't really know much about Hisako like that. I know enough for us to progress through the game, but not enough for me to be gravitated, for me to care about if she lives or dies through the game. So I felt like that was the issue right there. Other than that, the game itself is great. The combat is great. It's nice and fluid. It keeps you on the edge, and you don't really get bored, because if you do feel like compelled to get a little bit irritated with the combat mechanics, just switch up your moveset. Just switch up your weapons. At the end of the day, this is a game that you guys should not miss. I enjoyed it. And for me being picky with side-scroller games, and if you love side-scroller games, you should definitely check this out. It's on a PlayStation Store. If you have a PS4 or a PS5, it should be on there. I recommend you guys playing on the PS4. You won't really see much of a big difference on the PS5, other than the frame rate issue the frame rate, where it can be more smoother. But other than that, the PS4 is a recommend play for this. I'm gonna have to give Dead or School a B-. I really enjoyed this game a lot. I thought this game was very great. And for me to almost miss this game, this was me not just being thankful, but for me to have really, really strong faith in God. I believe in God. So at this time, it's hard for me to put God in the review of a game that has undead and zombies. So just cut that part out. Anyway, that's all I have to say for today. Please stay tuned for more of my upcoming reviews and videos headed your way. This is Hugo, your critic teacher. You guys have a good day.